Hey everybody, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I have a flea market haul of mostly maker items. So I paid $21 for everything I'm going to show you in the video. I'm going to start off with the most boring and kind of go in a random order. So let me grab one of these things over here. This is probably going to make a mess, but this is not very makerish, but it does look to be brand new, just in a horrific box. So I'm going to get this thing out of the box. And it is an exit sign, and let's see here, it has some fingerprints on it, so maybe it doesn't work, I don't know, but let me see if I can open this thing up. I'm already getting dirty. Okay people, well it's time to place your bets. We have to decide if this thing is going to work, heat stranded wire, if it's going to work or not work or throw sparks. So you've got three options there: work or not work or throw sparks. And plug it in. And 3, 2, 1. Hey! It works! So I wouldn't call that a killer deal. I'm probably going to chuck this nasty old board. I kept the LED strip, the transformer, the battery pack, I'll test that out, and this JST thing. So for $1, I'm not going to complain. Next up, we have another thing that I'm a little unsure of, but it is definitely makerish, and this is from ST, which I'm wondering if it is the same as the ST Microcontroller people. But this is an LED driver board. You can see these are very makerish LEDs. We've got a little heatsink here, PWM dimming. We've got power input here for, what is this, a 12 volt AC power brick. And then these weird CDs that say 8, 16, and 32-bit microcontrollers from ST from May 2006. What the heck is this thing? Let's look at this other board here. This is still sealed. This says ST Eval, STM Microelectronics. Huh. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I might need you guys to help tell me what this thing is. I mean, it clearly looks like some kind of driver board, but I have no idea for what. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, and I might see something in this video, you might see something in the next video, but very, very weird. Paid $1. In the ST microcontroller thing, I also found this. This is an ST microcontroller starter kit, including this daughter board here, and this is called the Reva. And so I know nothing about this. This is before my time in terms of microcontrollers. But we have, I guess we are missing that daughter board. We have this thing here. Oh no, we have this. So this is weird. So this is, let's see, we've got some very familiar things to Arduino people. We have this, got some outputs, looks like some LEDs. We have some inputs, some dip switches and buttons. That almost looks like a Wemos D1 mini shield. We've got a potentiometer, some input stuff, some analog pins, serial, Mozzie, Mizo. We have RS-232. Looks like CAN bus over here. This is serial 1, the serial 2, and CAN bus. We have the Reva card adapter. Looks like a laptop memory module. Oh, and then this is made to break off. So over here we have USB and yeah, some other stuff over here. So I'm gonna have to do some research on this. And then we have this thing, which is the STR912F, which has a mini USB port, a couple of, looks like IR LEDs maybe. And yes, I mean, that obviously is gonna slot in there. So I wanna look this thing up and find out a little bit more about this thing. We've got a CD. This is an evaluation board and reference design for the development kit. And let's see what this thing says. This is, this is the Renaissance Developmental Tools. 830 or 816 and 32-bit microcontrollers product and tool selection guide. So wow, man, you do not get this with an Arduino in 2021. So very, very cool. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea if it's useful at all today, but this is very cool. So paid $1. Next up, we're gonna go the most boring thing left, and that is these Mercury Innovation smart plugs, 2 for $1. So I've got just the smart plugs. They look basically brand new. No instructions, no nothing. Say it works with GOOGLE. No app, no software, no instructions, but 2 smart plugs for $1 a piece. What could possibly go wrong putting these things on my network? All right, people, it's about to get weird. You ready for this? This is not LGR, but something that you would expect to find on LGR. This is the mouse yoke, and this says innovative design converts your mouse into a full-size airplane flight yoke. And you pull up, push forward, you can bank and all that kind of stuff. Turn your mouse into a flight yoke for Macintosh, Amiga, IBM, notebooks, portables, compatible with Flight Simulator for MS-DOS and the Macintosh. So that is interesting. Now it's obviously been opened. Here, let me show you the back. It's a new level of realism for software pilots. You can secure it to your desk and just strap your dang mouse right to it. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Now let's see, do we have a year on here? 1992 by Colorado Spectrum. So yeah, that's interesting. So let's see what it says here. Provides realism, no springs or switches or electronics to break. Works with virtually any flight or driving program that uses a mouse for directional control. Sturdy black anodized base and clamp are extruded from recycled aluminum. Thank you for doing that. Wow, I'm not 100% sure this thing's ever been out of the box. I don't think it has. So we've got the instructions here with a warranty card. We have the mouse wheel. You can get your add-on mouse wheel. Oh, the full steering wheel you can get for an extra $15. But you have to turn this thing in by June or January of 1993, so that's not going to work. Okay, let's pull it out. Wow, that does not feel quality. This is, I mean, I could snap that fairly easily. So we do have, this is nice. This is a nice chunk of aluminum. And then we've got the clamp. Heck, this thing was worth $1 for the clamp. And then we have the yoke. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is amazing. I decided to raise the camera up a little bit so you guys could see this thing in all its glory. That is very 90s. That looks like Miami Vice, Miami Subs. You've got this clamp thing just slides right on here. This thing clamps it down to your desk, and yeah, dude, that is very interesting. This thing deserves probably its own video or some actual time playing with this thing, because it is legit. $1. I've got 3 more items, 1 more that I bought today and 2 more that I bought last time. I'm going to keep the camera up there for this one. This is an X15 computer Sonar by Lowrance. Now I've made it a point not to do any looking at this thing, but there's knobby things on here and sensitivity on here, and if you open it up, it does not look very good, but it has this paper on it and it looks thermal. So I do not want to break this thing. I mean, I think it's probably broken. This is the belt. I'm guessing that was a belt at one time. What the heck is this thing? Okay. So there is some paper left on the roll. If we could get this belt replaced and get this thing working here. There's a threading diagram. You guys can't see that. There's a threading diagram here. This thing is completely fallen apart. Take up roll, supply roll. Something was made to come in here. I don't know if that's the, like a pen or something would go in there. I have no idea. This thing has seen better days. So I think this thing deserves a teardown. And if worse comes to worse, this is just a cool enclosure for $1, man. This is awesome. So this is the X15 computer Sonar from Lowrance, whatever that is. Next up, I got this thing for $5, and it's you see it's got chains on it, and it's made to be hung up in a restaurant, and I guess tell the waitresses or waiters when to come back to the thing. So it's got numbers 1 through 36. I had started to do a teardown on it, which I'll put some pictures in right about here. And there's nothing really solid state in there. There must have been connected to a whole bunch of relays or even physical switches originally. It's just got a whole bunch of dividers and yeah, and single individual light bulbs in it. So I've thought about replacing this glass and making it an on-air sign or something for my office, or maybe doing something with the 1 through 36. It was $5 total, so I feel like for that amount of money, it's worth it for the enclosure. It's all metal and heavy duty and stuff, so $5. So last but definitely not least in terms of expense, I got this Ryobi 18-volt soldering station for $10. It's missing the extra tips that came with it, but they look like they're Hacko compatible ones, so I don't think I'll have a hard time finding those off AliExpress if I don't already have them. It's also missing the little soldering holder over here, but I have a few of these extra ones. I've got this this Weller one that I tend to use the most. Anyway, so it is 18 volt and 110 volt compatible. I'll show you that in a second. But the thing I really like about it is just the quality of this handle. The cord's a little stiff, but man, this thing just feels really, really nice. Like, it just has a good feel to it. I don't have it all the way up, so we'll see if that's hot enough for this solder. Yeah. So, needs to be tinned, but overall, this thing is fantastic. I thought about that. The fact that the tip is not tinned properly is a good opportunity to use this Mechanic brand tip conditioner. Let's see how that stuff works. Let's take it in here. We're going to roll it around a little bit. Let me get some of this junk off here. Oh, look at that. See? That. Now, let's see here. That is what I'm talking about. So now all of a sudden, we went from that tip not being very good to properly tinned at the end and no globs of solder falling off here. So I have it a little cool for this giant solder here, but overall I really like this thing. As I said, it is hybrid, so it runs off 110 volts or 18 volts. I like that it's got a nice bright LED on it just to remind you the thing is on. I guess the other thing about using a battery powered soldering iron is you can't leave it on too long. I think this thing will probably last maybe an hour or so on that giant battery. But anyway, that is my haul. I got this and that sign with all the numbers on it a couple of weeks ago together for $15, and I spent $5 or $6 for all the other things you've seen in this video. And that's what I got. So let me know what you think, and hey, have a great day. Thanks for watching.